Okay, so this is the solution to our first day activity. Created a quick video so you can check your work, make sure that you're going through this right. So a couple things that we talked about yesterday were perpendicular and what does that mean. And we talked about what we were actually finding. We're finding the equation of a line. Okay, and we put it in a slope-intercept form, so which is y is equal to mx plus b. And the first thing that we did is we said, okay, hey, look, this is the line that's perpendicular to my solution. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this guy, and I'm actually going to show a different way to find slope, and I'll actually I'll do a separate video on this also. But most of you are going to go into slope-intercept form. We have what's called a standard form of an equation, and that's what this guy is in. It's in standard form. Okay? So A is equal to 2 and B is equal to -1. And I get that from the coefficients on the actual equation of a line. So now what I know is that I know that this 2 has to move over if I'm thinking slope-intercept form, right? Because if it was slope-intercept form, the process that we would go through is we'd say, okay, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And then divide out the negative. And my slope would be 2. And this is a fine way to find the slope. Okay? But sometimes a quicker way is we understand the pattern that if A is going to move over to the other side, when it does that, it's then going to be divided by B. So if we create a formula, if you will, or something, a pattern that allows us to find slope quickly, I go ahead and take A over B, right? Because A is what's in front of X, and that's being divided by what's in front of Y. So this is what's in front of Y, and it's going to divide what's in front of X. But the only other thing is A moves over, right? So because A moves over, I got to put a negative in front of this thing. So that means I have A over B and the opposite. And look what happens. The slope here is 2, and the slope here is 2. And it's the same exact value. Okay, so now we have the point 1, -4, and we have a slope of 2. We want to find the line that goes through this point, but is also perpendicular to the given line. So I know my perpendicular slope is opposite reciprocal, and I have my y is equal to mx plus b. I know my y coordinate is -4, my slope is -1/2, my x value is 1. By plugging these guys in, I can find b and create my equation. -4 is equal to -1/2 plus b. I'm going to add 1/2, add 1/2, and I'm going to continue my work over on the other side. So I have -4 plus 1/2 is equal to b. Well, I should be able to think about these numbers, and it's going to end up being -3.5. But let's work with our fractions here. So that means I have to create a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply, this is just a quick skills review, by the -4. Okay? And then now I'm going to have -8 over 2 plus 1/2, which is equal to my y-intercept. And that's going to give me -7/2, which is the same as -3.5. So now I have my equation of the line that's perpendicular to the line that was given. And our slope was -1/2, and our intercept was a -7/2. And there we go. And that's the problem that we did yesterday.